Fourier transform and its inverse. Here in this topic we are dealing with Fourier transform and its inverse. I am not writing the proof, I am writing only the formula. Okay. Now the Fourier transform of a function of x is denoted by using the notation like this. It is read as Fourier transform of f of x, which is equal to caps f omega. The Fourier transform of small letter f of x is equal to caps f omega. It's called Fourier transform of f of x. F of x is a function of x. Now this f omega or the Fourier transform of f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x, the same f of x, e raised to minus I omega x dx. Here we have to integrate with respect to x between the limits minus infinity and infinity, the function of x and e raised to minus I omega x. Okay. The Fourier transform of the function of x f omega, where f omega is equal to, you can write like this also, where f omega is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Now this is a Fourier transform now and its inverse. That means Fourier inverse transform or inverse Fourier transform. Okay. Now the inverse transform of this f omega is f of x, isn't it? Therefore the inverse Fourier transform can be denoted by using this letter or this notation, that is inverse Fourier transform of f omega is again equal to the function f of x, which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f omega e raised to not minus I omega x e raised to I omega x positive with respect to omega. Okay. Therefore here this is called inverse Fourier transform of f omega, which is equal to f of x. I can write here, it's called the inverse Fourier transform of caps f omega. You have to note here it is caps letter, here it is small letter. It is equal to f of x. That means where, or we can write like this, f of x is equal to, particularly where f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi, which is called the Fourier inverse transform of f omega. 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f omega e raised to I omega x with respect to omega. Here we have to check here with f of x with respect to x and f omega with respect to omega. This is about the formula of Fourier transform and its inverse. We have a problem. Find the Fourier transform of f of x, which is equal to 0 when x less than 0 and e raised to minus kx when x greater than 0, and here k is also positive. Okay. Here find the Fourier transform of the question is like this. F of x is equal to 0 when x less than 0 and e raised to minus kx when x greater than 0. Here k is also greater than 0, that means k is positive. Okay. Now here we are going to find out the Fourier transform of f of x. Therefore we use the notation like this, Fourier transform of f of x. We know that it is equal to the formula 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Now 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity can be divided into 2 because here we have the function f of x is equal to 0 when x less than 0. When x less than 0 means it can extend up to minus infinity. Okay, therefore I am rewriting this x less than 0 as minus infinity less than x less than 0. Okay, now e raised to minus kx when x greater than 0. 0 is here, isn't it? X less than 0 means it can extend up to minus infinity. Now, e raised to minus kx when x greater than 0. X greater than 0 can be extended up to infinity. Therefore, here we can rewrite this as 0 less than x less than infinity. Okay, 0 less than x less than infinity. That means the value of x lies in between minus infinity and 0. Similarly, x less than 0 means the value of x lies in between minus infinity and 0. X greater than 0 means the value of x lies in between 0 and infinity. It is clear from this picture. Okay. Now we can divide this interval from minus infinity to 0 like this and from 0 to infinity. We know that from minus infinity to 0, the value of this function f of x is equal to 0. Therefore, 0 into e raised to minus I omega x dx. Plus, from 0 to infinity, the value of the function is e raised to minus kx. E raised to minus I omega x dx. Therefore, this is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, here we consider this only because this becomes equal to 0. From 0 to infinity, e raised to we have two powers. We can take the common one, that is minus of k plus I omega. We can take x outside, that is minus kx into minus I omega x. That means it is of the form e raised to a into e raised to b. It is equal to e raised to a plus b. So e raised to m into e raised to n is equal to e raised to m plus n. A similar formula. Okay. With respect to x. Now this is of the form e raised to x integral e raised to x dx, which is equal to e raised to x by a. Okay. In the place of a we have minus of k plus I omega. Therefore we write again or we integrate again, that is e raised to minus k plus I omega into x divided by minus k plus I omega divided by a. Is minus k plus I omega. Now limit from 0 to infinity. Now we can apply the limits. Equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, here 1 by minus of k plus I omega. We can take minus of k plus I omega outside because we are applying to x only. Okay, we are applying limits to x only. Now e raised to minus of k plus I omega into x. We are applying limit to x. Therefore, e raised to minus infinity. Then minus e raised to minus 0. Okay, k plus I omega into infinity means the same infinity. K plus I omega into 0 means 0. Now it is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, now minus 1 by k plus I omega into e raised to minus infinity, that we already know it is 0. Then e raised to 0 is 1. Okay. Therefore, we have a minus here. Multiplying we get 1 by root 2 pi into 1 by k plus I omega. Or we can write it as 1 by root 2 pi into k plus I omega. That is the final answer. Okay. Now the second question. Find the Fourier transform of f of x is equal to mod x when minus 1 less than x less than 1 and 0 otherwise. Here we want to find out the Fourier transform of, that is by using the notation Fourier transform of f of x is equal to f omega, and which is equal to the formula 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Okay, which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into integral from minus infinity to infinity. Here the function is of the form mod x1 minus 1 to 1 and 0 otherwise. That means we can draw here from minus 1 to 1. The value of the function is mod f of x. Okay. Otherwise means from minus infinity to minus 1, the value of the function is 0. And from 1 to infinity also, the value of the function is 0. The function has value only when x lies in between minus 1 and 1, and it is mod x. So here we want to divide this interval from minus infinity to infinity as 3. That is from minus infinity to minus 1, f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then from minus 1 to 1, f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then from 1 to infinity, f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Here I am dividing the interval into 3, minus infinity to minus 1, minus 1 to 1, then from 1 to infinity, because here the interval is divided into 3. Okay, 0 otherwise means we can write f of x is equal to mod x1 minus 1 less than x less than 1. 0 otherwise means minus infinity less than x less than minus 1, the value of the function is 0. And from 1 to infinity, it means 1 less than x less than infinity, the value of the function is 0. And which is equal to, here we have 1 by root 2 pi, from minus infinity to minus 1, the value of the function is 0. So I am not writing it. It is understood. Now from minus 1 to 1, the value of the function is mod x. Therefore, mod x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then from 1 to infinity, the value of the function is again 0. Therefore, I am not considering the third term also. I am considering only the second term, that is from minus 1 to 1, mod x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into minus 1 to 1. From minus 1 to 1, the value of the function is mod x. Therefore, mod x e raised to minus I omega x dx, which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into. Now, from minus 1 to 1, we have mod x. Now, what is the definition of mod x? If f of x is equal to mod x, then we can divide mod x into 2. The value of mod x is minus x, that is from minus 1 to 0. And the value of x, f of x is x when 0 less than x less than 1. I am redefining. This is the theory for modulus. It is f of x becomes minus x in the interval minus 1 to 0, and f of x becomes positive x in the interval 0 to 1. From minus 1 to 1, we can divide this again into 2, that is minus 1 to 0. The value of f of x is minus x. And from 0 to 1, the value of f of x is x, because here the function is mod x. Okay. Now I am dividing this, that is from minus 1 to 0, the value of the function is minus x. Therefore, minus x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then from 0 to 1, the value of the function is x. So x into e raised to minus I omega x dx. This is only for the case of modulus of a function. Okay. Now we can integrate this by using integral uv. What is integral uv? First function integral of second minus derivative integral plus derivative integral minus etc. By using integral uv, we can integrate this. Take minus x as u and e raised to minus I omega x v. Okay, take this as u and this as v. Now first function, that is u, integral of second, integral of e raised to minus I omega x with respect to x, that means divided by minus I omega. Integral of e raised to x form. This e raised to x by a. Here in the place of a we have minus I omega, therefore divided by minus I omega. Then here we have minus sign, so I will apply minus sign. Derivative of this, derivative of u, derivative of minus x, that is minus 1, into integral of second, integral of v1. I am again finding the integral of e raised to minus I omega x. Here I have already minus I omega, therefore 1 by minus I omega. Now integral of e raised to minus I omega x, that is e raised to minus I omega x divided by minus I omega. Put a bracket like this for negative values. Okay. Now plus, third term is plus derivative of u dash, derivative of minus 1. Derivative of minus 1 is 0. Therefore, we can stop here. I am not writing the third term because it becomes 0. Plus derivative of this minus 1 is 0. Okay. Therefore, we can stop the, now limit from minus 1 to 0. Okay. Since it is a common term, that is 1 by root 2 pi is a common term for both the integrals, I will apply a bracket like this, then plus. Then similarly we can do for x e raised to minus I omega x, u integral uv form. First function, that is x, integral of the second e raised to minus I omega x by minus I omega. Then minus derivative of x 1. Again integral of this. Integral of this means here already we have minus I omega is a constant. We will take outside. We will find out the integral of e raised to minus I omega x only. That is of the form e raised to minus I omega x by minus I omega. Then plus derivative of not minus 1, derivative of 1 only, plus derivative of u dash, that is u double dash. Derivative of 1 is 0. So we can stop the, now limit from 0 to 1. We can close this interval, sorry, we can close this bracket like this. These are for reference, so I will write this. Okay, I'm closing the bracket like this. So utmost care must be taken when we are doing these problems. Okay, equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, this is the previous step. Now again we can write it as, or rearrange, first of all rearranging, then applying the limits. Okay, then minus into minus, here we have 2 minus in the first term, minus minus plus, therefore I am writing x into e raised to minus I omega x by I omega. Then here we have minus I omega into minus I omega. What is minus I omega into minus I omega? That is equal to I square omega square. Minus minus becomes plus. Then we have I into I square, omega into omega, I square, omega square, which is equal to again minus omega square. Here we have minus omega square instead of this. Minus omega square, then minus becomes plus, again minus, and becomes minus. Therefore, minus into e raised to minus I omega x by divided by the denominator we have omega square, not minus omega square, because we are multiplied that minus omega square with this minus and minus. Therefore, it becomes minus by omega square. Okay. Now, limit from minus 1 to 0. Then, for the next term, we have again minus in the denominator. I am putting in the numerator, that is minus x into e raised to minus I omega x by I omega. Then here also we have minus I omega into minus omega I omega, which becomes minus omega square, and minus into minus becomes plus. Therefore, plus e raised to minus I omega x by omega square. I am rewriting this to avoid confusions when we are applying the limits. Okay. Now apply the limits. That is 1 by root 2 pi into 1 by root 2 pi into applying the upper limit, we get upper limit to x, we get 0. So for the first term becomes equal to 0. For the second term we have minus, then e raised to minus I omega into 0, that is e raised to minus 0 by omega square. Then before applying the lower limit, we will put a minus sign, then minus into, then applying a bracket, minus 1 to x, that is minus 1 into e raised to minus I omega into minus 1. Most care must be taken when writing all these terms, divided by I omega. Okay. Minus 1 into e raised to minus I omega into minus 1 by I omega. Then applying to the second term, before that I am putting a minus sign, this sign. It is e raised to minus I omega into minus 1 by omega square. These are the limits to the first term. Okay. Now applying the limits to second term, plus this plus. Now upper limit minus 1 e raised to minus I omega into 1 divided by I omega. Okay. E raised to minus 1 into e raised to minus I omega into 1 by I omega, upper limit, plus applying upper limit to the second term, e raised to minus I omega into 1 divided by omega square. Now apply the lower limits. Before that I put a minus sign, then a bracket also. Then apply minus 0, that is 0 itself. Okay. Plus e raised to minus I omega into 0, that is e raised to minus 0 by omega square. Now close the brackets, that is very important. First this bracket and this one. Okay. Which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into minus e raised to 0 is 1, isn't it? Minus e raised to minus 0 is 1. Okay, this term becomes equal to 1. So minus 1 by omega square. Then we have, I am opening the bracket, that is minus into minus plus, plus e raised to minus I omega minus 1, that is e raised to I omega divided by I omega. Then minus becomes plus e raised to minus becomes plus e raised to I omega by omega square. Then here we have minus 1. So minus e raised to minus I omega into 1, that is minus I omega by I omega. Okay. Then plus, you have to put a finger like this, that I am doing. E raised to minus I omega by omega square. Then minus into minus 0, that is 0 itself. Then minus into e raised to minus 0 is 1 by omega square. Okay. Now closing the bracket. Now rechecking in this case. Okay, I'm going to recheck this. Minus 1 by omega square, then minus into minus 1, that is plus e raised to I omega by I omega, then minus, not minus into minus, plus e raised to I omega by omega square, then minus e raised to minus I omega by I omega, plus e raised to minus I omega by omega square, then minus 1 by omega square. Therefore, it is correct. Now it is equal to 1 by root 2 pi. Now we can solve this. That is minus 1 by omega square minus 1 by omega square becomes minus 2 by omega square plus 1 by I omega. Here we have 1 by I omega term, 1 by I omega term. Therefore, I omega, then minus e raised to minus I omega. Joining these two terms. Then joining 1 by omega square terms, that is 1 by omega square into e raised to I omega, then plus e raised to minus I omega. Okay, now we know that e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, and e raised to minus I theta is equal to cos theta minus I sin theta. Now e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta divided by 2 is equal to cos theta, and e raised to minus I theta, sorry, e raised to I theta minus e raised to minus I theta divided by 2i is sin theta. Here we can use these two formulas. Okay, that is 1 by root 2 pi into minus 2 by omega square plus 1 by I omega into, here this is of the form e raised to I theta minus e raised to minus I theta. In the place of theta we have omega, isn't it? Therefore, we need a 1 by 2i. For that, I will multiply by 2i and divide by 2i. Okay. To convert e raised to I omega minus e raised to minus I omega in this form, I will divide it by 2i, so that I will multiply it by 2i. Okay. Plus 1 by omega square into, now this is of the form e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta form. Therefore, to convert it to cos form, I will multiply it by 2 and divide by 2. Therefore, here I will multiply it by 2 and divide it by, I will divide by 2. Okay. Now closing the brackets. Now this is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into The first term is the same, no change, minus 2 by omega square, then plus, here I have 2I by I omega, then this term can be written as e raised to I omega plus, here e raised to I omega minus e raised to minus I omega by 2I can be written as sin omega. So I am writing here sin omega plus, here we have 2 by omega square into e raised to I theta or e raised to I omega plus e raised to minus I omega by 2 can be written as cos omega equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, again we can simplify this. First term is minus 2 by omega square, then here I can cancel I and I, that is plus 2 by omega sin omega, then last term has no difference, 2 by omega square into cos omega. Okay. Find, the third question is find the Fourier transform of f of x equal to 1 minus x square when mod x less than or equal to 1 and 0 when mod x greater than 1, and hence evaluate integral from 0 to infinity x cos x minus sin x divided by x cube cos x by 2 dx. Okay. Here we want to find out the Fourier transform of f of x is equal to 1 minus x square when mod x less than or equal to 1 and 0 when mod x greater than 1, and from this we have to, after finding out the Fourier transform, we have to evaluate integral from 0 to infinity x cos x minus sin x by x cube cos x by 2 dx. So first of all we are going to find out the Fourier transform of this function. For that, consider f of x. Here f of x is defined as 1 minus x square in the interval minus x less than or equal to 1. What is mod x less than or equal to 1. What do you mean by mod x less than or equal to 1? That is from minus 1 to 1. Then the value of x lies in between minus 1 to 1. Then the value of the function f of x is equal to 1 minus x square. Okay. Here this mod x less than or equal to 1 can be written as minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. If it is mod x less than 1, we can write minus 1 less than x less than 1. Here it is equal to means minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. At minus 1 and 1 also, the value of the function is 1 minus x square. Now 0 when mod x greater than 1 means 0 elsewhere. Therefore we can define it as from minus infinity to minus 1 and from 1 to infinity the value of the function is 0. Therefore we can write 0 elsewhere or minus infinity less than x less than 1, x less than minus 1, and from 1 less than x less than infinity the value of the function is 0. Therefore from minus infinity to minus 1 the value of the function is 0. From minus 1 to 1 the value of the function is 1 minus x square, and from 1 to infinity it is again equal to 0. Therefore redefining the question, that is f of x is equal to 1 minus x square when mod x less than or equal to 1 and 0 when mod x greater than 1 before applying the Fourier transform of f of x. Now the Fourier transform of f of x, we can use the notation Fourier transform of f of x, which is equal to f omega, and this is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral from minus infinity to infinity. The formula is f of x e raised to minus I omega x with respect to x. This is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, now we can divide this limit from minus infinity to infinity as minus infinity to minus 1, then from minus 1 to 1, then from 1 to infinity, or f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Split minus infinity to minus 1, f of x e raised to minus I omega x, minus 1 to 1, f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx, and 1 to infinity, f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. We know that here from 1 to infinity only we have the value of this function. This minus 1 to 1, value of the function is 1 minus x square. Therefore, I am writing from minus 1 to 1 only. In the place of f of x, I am writing 1 minus x square e raised to minus I omega x dx. Okay. Now we have one by root 2 pi into integral from minus 1 to 1, 1 minus x square e raised to minus I omega x dx can be solved using another method, that is 1 minus x square into e raised to minus I omega x can be written as this e raised to minus I theta is cos theta minus I sin theta, isn't it? Using that formula we have, this can be cos omega x minus I sin omega x with respect to x. Okay, that is again equal to 1 by root 2 pi into, we can divide this integral into 2, that is from minus 1 to 1, 1 minus x square into cos omega x dx. 1 minus x square cos omega x dx, then minus I taking outside, minus I into, they will from minus 1 to 1, 1 minus x square sin omega x dx. Okay. Proceeding this problem, I am giving some hints, that is even function and odd function. What do you mean by even function? Whenever a function of minus x is equal to f of x, then the function is said to be even. Now what do you mean by odd function? When f of minus x is equal to minus into f of x, then the function is said to be odd function. Here we want to check whether the function is even or odd. Now another thing is that integral from minus a to a into f of x dx becomes equal to 2 into 0 to a f of x dx when now the function f of x is even. Whenever the function f of x is even, minus to plus integral value can be written as 2 into 0 to a, that f of x dx, and integral from minus a to a f of x dx becomes equal to 0 whenever the function f of x is odd. If we can identify that the function f of x from minus a to a in the interval minus to plus value is an odd function, then we can directly write the value of the integral as 0. If it is even, we can convert the minus to a, minus to plus value can be 2 into 0 to a positive value. Okay, these are the points we have to remember before doing the problem. Okay, now we can proceed the problem. In this this problem, check whether this function is, here we want to note that the limit is from minus to plus value. That means minus 1 to 1. Now we want to check whether this function is even or odd. Then we can simplify the limits either from 2 into 0 to 1, or we can write the value of this limit as 0, depends upon this function whether it is even or odd, as we have discussed earlier. Okay. Therefore 1 by root 2 pi into, I am going to check whether this function is even or odd. Here we have two functions. Therefore here, first of all, considering 1 minus x square, the f of x is equal to 1 minus x square. So we have to check f of minus x. It becomes equal to, if it becomes equal to the same function, then the function 1 minus x square is even function. 1 minus x the whole square, which is equal to again 1 minus x square. Okay, it is equal to the function f of x. Therefore f of x is even, or the function 1 minus x square is even. So I am denoting here even function e. Now for the case of cos omega x, f of x is equal to cos omega x. F of minus x is equal to cos omega into minus x. Okay, I am rewriting it because it is cos omega into minus x. Cos of minus theta. Cos of minus theta is cos theta that we have already know, that is cos omega x. What is cos omega x? The same function f of x. Therefore we know that the function f of x, that is cos omega x, is even. Okay. Therefore it is even. Here this is also even. Therefore I am multiplying two even functions. Even into even functions. It is again equal to an even function that we already know. The multiplication of two even functions, or the product of two even functions, will be an even function. Therefore here from minus 1 to 1 f of x, here the whole term 1 minus x square into cos omega is an even function. Therefore this limit can be written as 2 into 0 into the even function 1 minus x square into cos omega x dx. Okay. Now the second term, minus I into. Here for the case of 1 minus x square, we have already found that it is an even function. Therefore even function into. What about this sin omega x? That we already know that sin omega is an odd function. If you are doing like this, f of x is equal to sin omega x. F of minus x is equal to sin omega into minus x. This sin of minus theta form, minus omega x. Sin of minus theta is minus sin theta, therefore minus sin omega x. Therefore we know that f of x is equal to, f of minus x is equal to minus into f of x. Therefore we have the function f of x. Here the function f of x is taken as sin omega x, which is an odd function. If f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, then the function is odd. So I am writing here odd function to denote it as O. We know that the product of an even and odd function is again an odd function. Okay, therefore here we have the case minus 1 to 1, an odd function into dx. What is that result? It is 0. The value of the integral is 0. Okay, now proceeding the problem. Okay. Now proceeding the problem, we get it is only 1 by root 2 pi into 2 into 0 to 1, 1 minus x square cos omega x dx. We have to integrate this term only. Okay. Rewriting the term, that is 1 by root 2 pi 2 into 0 to 1 minus x square cos omega x dx. Now we can integrate this. Here 2 is a constant, we can take it outside. That is 2 by root 2 pi. Now integral from 0 to 1 minus x square cos omega x dx can be integrated using integral uv plus function integral of second minus derivative integral plus derivative integral minus etc. Okay, by using that we can write this first function, that is 1 minus x square. U is 1 minus x square. Integral of the second, integral of cos omega s sin omega x, divided by, for omega x we have omega, then minus derivative of this, derivative of 1 minus x square is, derivative of 1 is 0, then minus 2x, minus 2x. You must use bracket like this. Now integral of the second, we have already 1 by omega, which is a constant. Okay. Now the integral of sin omega is minus cos omega x by omega, then plus sign for the third term, integral of minus 2x, that is minus 2. Then here we have 1 by omega into 1 by omega, that is 1 by omega square. Then a minus sign here. Now the derivative, now the integral of cos omega x, it is again sin omega x by omega. Now plus, minus. For the fourth term, we put a minus sign, that is in the formula. Then derivative of minus 2, that is 0. We can stop there. Now applying the limits, we are not applied limits, but limit from 0 to 1. Okay, now closing the brackets. This is equal to 2 by root 2 into root pi. Now applying the limits, first the upper limit, that is 1 to 1 minus x square, that is 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore the first term becomes equal to 0. For the second term we have 2 into x, that is 2 into 1, that is, here we have minus into minus is plus, then a minus sign. Therefore minus 2 into 1 into 1 by omega, then we have cos omega into 1 by omega. Then applying 1 to here, we will get, for the third term we have minus into minus, that is plus. Therefore plus 2 into 1 by omega square cos omega into 1, that is, sin omega into 1, that is sin omega by omega. Then the fourth term is already 0. Now applying the lower limit. Before applying lower limit, we will put a minus sign, then a bracket. Then here applying 1 minus 0, applying x to 0, that is 1, but here we have sin omega into 0, that is sin 0 is already 0. Therefore the first term becomes equal to 0. For the second term we have 2 into 0, that is also equal to 0. For the third term we have minus 2 into 1 by omega square minus into sin 0, that is again 0. Fourth term also 0. So the third term 0, then fourth term is already equal to 0. Therefore we have only 2 terms. That is equal to root 2 and 2 cancels, we get root 2 by root pi into, here we have minus 2 into 1 by, what is this, 1 by omega square into the denominator we have omega square into cos omega into 1 is cos omega plus 2 into 1 by omega square into omega is omega cube into sin omega. Here again we can take 2 outside, that is 2 into root 2 by root pi into minus cos omega by omega square plus we have sin omega by omega cube. Okay. Or this can be written as 2 root 2 by root pi into, we can take omega cube as LCM. So that we have minus omega cos omega plus sin omega. Or this can be written as 2 root 2 by root pi into sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube. Inversion formula we have for reduction we'll use inversion formula. Okay, we got the Fourier transform. Now we are going to find the integral. For that we'll apply the inversion formula, that is Fourier inverse of f omega is equal to f of x, isn't it? That is equal to 1 by root 2 pi, the formula is 1 by root 2 pi, from minus infinity to infinity, f omega e raised to I omega x d omega. That is equal to 1 by root 2 pi into integral from minus infinity to infinity. In the place of f omega we can write 2 root 2 by root pi into sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube. That is the Fourier transform of f of x into e raised to I omega x dx. Again we can take from this 1 by root 2 into root pi. Root 2 pi can be written as root 2 into root pi. We can take 2 root 2 root pi outside, which is a constant. Then integral from minus infinity to infinity, sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into e raised to I omega x dx. Now cancelling the terms root 2 and root 2, then we get 2 by root pi into root pi becomes 2 by pi. Integral from minus infinity to infinity, sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into e raised to I omega x can be written as e raised to I theta form, that is cos omega x, cos theta plus I sin theta form, that is I sin omega x dx. Now here this is denoted as f of x, isn't it? Therefore 2 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity, sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into cos omega x plus I sin omega x dx can be written as the value of the function 1 minus x square when mod x less than or equal to 1 and 0 when mod x greater than 1. Now to obtain the answer we putting x is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, putting x is equal to 1 by 2 on both sides. We have 2 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity, sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into cos omega into 1 by 2 plus I sin omega into 1 by 2 d omega is equal to f of 1 by 2. This is the value of the function when x is equal to 1 by 2. When x is equal to 1 by 2, what is the value of this function? First of all, we want to check whether this 1 by 2 lies. 1 by 2 lies in between minus 1 and 1. Therefore, we want to consider 1 minus x square. Therefore, in the place of x, substitute 1 by 2. That is 1 minus 1 by 2 the whole square. That is 1 minus 1 by 4, which is equal to 3 by 4. The value of 1 by 2 lies here, approximately, isn't it? Therefore, f of 1 by 2 means 1 minus 1 by 2 the whole square is 1 minus 1 by 4, which is equal to 3 by 4. I am rewriting this. That is integral from minus infinity to infinity sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into cos omega by 2 plus I sin omega by 2 into d omega is equal to 3 by 4 into here this 2 by pi can be multiplied here as pi by 2. It is equal to 3 pi by 8. In the question, we want to evaluate the integral from 0 to infinity x cos x minus sin x by x cube into cos x by 2 only. So here we will take, here this is somewhat this form, this omega cos omega sin omega by omega cube cos omega by 2 or cos x by 2. Here in this put omega is equal to x, we will get that like this. Okay. So here we will take only cos omega by 2 term. For that, equating the real part on both sides, we have integral from minus infinity to infinity sin omega minus omega cos omega by omega cube into cos omega by 2. Here the real part is cos omega by 2 plus I into sin omega by 2 is the imaginary part. Therefore, we will not consider cos omega by 2 d omega is equal to, the value is the same, 3 pi by 8. Now, rearranging this as in the question, taking minus outside so that we have minus into minus infinity to infinity omega cos omega minus sin omega by omega cube into cos omega by 2 d omega, which is equal to 3 pi by 8. Also please note that is the question we have the limit from 0 to infinity. Therefore, we have to change the limit from minus infinity to infinity as 0 to infinity. For that, we want to check whether the function is even or odd. Here we have two functions. First of all, I am considering this function, that is f omega. F omega is equal to omega cos omega minus sin omega by omega cube. Consider f minus omega, that is equal to minus omega cos of minus omega, then minus sin minus omega by minus omega the whole cube, which is equal to minus omega into cos of minus theta is cos theta, therefore cos omega, then minus sin of minus theta is minus sin theta, therefore minus sin omega by minus omega the whole cube is minus omega cube. Therefore, again we have minus omega cos omega plus sin omega by minus omega cube. Or by multiplying minus we get omega cos omega minus sin omega by omega cube, which is equal to the same f omega. Therefore, f omega is even. That means the first function is even function. Now here the second function is cos of omega by 2. We know that cos of minus theta is cos theta. Therefore, cos of minus omega by 2 is again. I am writing. If you have any doubt, I am writing here. Cos omega by 2. F of minus omega is cos of minus omega by 2. Cos of minus theta is cos theta, that is cos omega by 2. It is equal to f omega. Therefore, here also the function is even. Therefore, here we have even function. The product of two even function is again an even function. Therefore, here the limit from minus infinity to infinity can be written as 2 into 0 to infinity. Before that, applying a minus sign is already here. It is minus into 2 into 0 to infinity omega cos omega minus sin omega by omega cube into cos omega by 2 d omega, which is equal to 3 pi by 8. Okay. Now we have multiplying this minus 2 here. Therefore, integral from 0 to infinity omega cos omega minus sin omega by omega cube into cos omega by 2 d omega is equal to 3 pi by 8 into minus 1 by 2, that is minus 3 pi by 16. Now in the final answer we have, in the place of omega we have x. Therefore, putting omega is equal to x, we get integral from 0 to infinity x cos x minus sin x by x cube cos x by 2 dx is equal to minus 3 pi by 16. Our question is evaluate the value of this integral, that is minus 3 pi by 16, by using inverse Fourier transform or Fourier transform formula.